Hi there, everyone. Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. Lots going out here in the Western Pacific, but first let's talk about what the main conversation has been throughout the day today, and this is Tropical Storm Sanvu. Now, I'm calling it a tropical storm because the Japan Meteorological Agency, the official warning agency across the Western Pacific Basin here, is still calling it an STS, oddly enough, actually, with winds about 45 knots. And gusts up to 60 knots, and actually this is the forecast graphic from the Japan Meteorological Agency right now. They do take it just towards the east-southeast of Iwo Jima. This is in fair agreement with all the other agencies out as far as the direction, but the intensity still remains relatively weak according to them, only maxing out at about 60 knots sustained. Now this is considerably less than the unofficial agency for the Western Pacific Basin. That's the Joint Typhoon Warning Center that has this storm at 65 gusting up to 80 knots and actually expects it to get up to 75 knots sustained. That's quite considerably higher than what JMA is actually showing here during the duration of the forecast. So one of the main differences though is that JMA does their scale on a 10-minute average, vice JTWC that does theirs on a 1-minute average. Thus you can actually get a higher sustained wind recording, but you have to remember this is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and there actually is no one out there holding a wind gauge up in the air. Usually this is based on a Dvorak intensity at the highest cloud tops and then the lowest cloud tops, and the difference in those temperatures on the infrared imagery, and it kind of bases on what the central pressure and thus what the winds are going to be. This right here is not infrared though. This is a microwave imagery showing where these higher cloud tops are, and what I want to demonstrate here is that there is a lot of dry air inflow coming in along the western periphery of the storm and wrapping around the center. A very weak eye actually popping up here in the middle of it, and if we look at the MMIC, another form of microwave imagery, and you can see that there is a very weak eye wall forming up here around the center of circulation, yet lots of dry air inflow forming in around that eye wall. So if anything, if this has made it to typhoon status, it is a very weak typhoon, likely winds sustained at just about 65 knots only in this core right in here where you see these higher bands around it. But I do think that this is going to continue to intensify at least for a short duration and just maybe get a little bit stronger before it hits this frontal system coming off of Japan here. You can see it on JMA surface analysis, followed in by high pressure that will quickly veer it towards the north and then off towards the northeast, as shown in the forecast earlier, and also here by the model output by numerous models actually from GFS to NOGAPS, and also the European model also keep them running just towards the east of Iwo Jima here. I don't think Iwo Jima is going to be seeing the strongest winds likely, as this system just veers towards the east, thus it will be in the left front quadrant, which means that as this storm starts to speed off towards the northeast, it will decrease at least the winds in the left side of it. But at this time though, it does look like, at least looking at this imagery, it is gaining some sort of organization before it pushes off that way. But if you do want to follow the observations coming in out of Iwo Jima, their ICAO is RJAW, that's ICAA, the RJAW. It's the airport there, and if you look at any website that puts out observations by airports, you can see that at least as of about 15 Zulu, the last time I checked, it does look like winds sustained out of Iwo Jima at this time are at about 13 knots. Still seeing these outer RAN bands start to work their way through the islands though. But as far as you here in Japan, if you're worried about this storm, do not be. It does look like it will turn off towards the east. At least you will be seeing some rain showers though going into Friday, because a frontal area, actually you can see here on the last several frames, it's working its way in from the west. This is going to start bringing some cloud cover and also plenty of showers across much of western Japan, and even a few lingering thunderstorms could pop up there towards the east as that front continues to push through. So it's definitely something to watch here. And this is all coming in from China actually, where you have been seeing a deadly amount of rainfall the last several weeks here, and it does look like even more rainfall is going to be expected through the next 48 hours because of a low pressure area lingering here in central China. Actually, the CMA, or the China Meteorological Administration, has stated about 50 to 100 millimeters could fall in these areas. We are seeing these yellow and greens across much of China, actually just south of Chongqing here, extending out towards Shanghai. So even more rainfall expected there, and also across much of Indonesia. Indochina, even extending over towards the Philippines, you are still seeing some pop-up thunderstorms across much of this area. Actually, I saw a report out of Western Luzon in the past 24 hours of about 132 millimeters of rain, so a copious amount of rainfall is even falling in these tropical pop-up thunderstorms. And this is actually a photo from the Philippines in Manila. It was posted on Weather Underground by Magician13 here, and it does show how this various lightning could be potentially beautiful but also dangerous at the same time. A lightning show like this, you do have to remember this is striking somewhere, so anytime you hear thunder outside, you do have to also remember that it is very dangerous and could potentially kill. But that's all for right now, everybody. I also do want to remind you here that this is just our views here at westernpacificweather.com. It's not affiliated with any other agencies, and also not the views of the official agencies. Please do check in with whatever respected government source that you get your weather information from for your local area, just for those official forecasts. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. Stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.